Here we go. Hello. Okay, so if you're watching this and you know what Ophiuchus is, and that's just how I have found to pronounce it. I've heard Ophiuchus, I've heard Ophiuchus. I like Ophiuchus. Go with what works for you. If you know what it is, then you know that it is in some circles, it is believed to be the 13th zodiac sign, which personally makes a lot of sense to me, seeing as how there are 13 moon cycles in the year. It makes a ton of sense. Now, if you Google it, you're going to find NASA completely, totally smacking it down, disproving it. That no, it's astronomy, not astrology, that kind of thing. But it makes sense. And so I wanted to offer readings for anyone who resonates with this sign. So if you're not sure of the details, I wrote some notes, so I apologize. I'm going to be looking down for a second. The dates, and again, if you resonate with this sign in any way, then this reading is probably meant for you. As far as your chart, I can't help you with that. I'm not an astrologer, but what I do know is that the sun sign dates are November 30th through December 17th. Okay. So if this is part of the full zodiac, right, and there are 13, it's going to shift all of the dates. And so depending on where your birthday lies, you may shift sun signs. If this, if this sticks and we end up with 13 months, which I've heard from my own research, they may name a 13th month soul for the sun, which would be kind of cool. And so it lies between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So if you are a Scorpio or Sagittarius, and you were born between November 30th and December 17th, but you've never fully resonated with your sun sign, either one, right? Again, as far as like the moon, rising Venus, I don't know how that would work, so forgive me. But I just wanted to put this out there because I do resonate with there being 13 because of the moon cycles, and it just makes sense. And so I did look it up. It is, most have it listed as it would be a fire element, but I have heard, and I swear it was Laura Eisenhower, but I apologize to Laura right now if I'm wrong, if I am misquoting her, but I swear I heard her say that it is the element of ether. And that could be one of the reasons why they removed it, because it's incredibly powerful. Anyone born under this sign has a lot of personality and power and influence. Okay. So if you resonate with this, here are some of the personality traits of an Ophiuchus. Okay. Dynamic, funny, honest, intellectual, very logical, but very dry sense of humor. Okay. Ophiuchus literally means serpent bearer. And so the thingy, the constellation. Oh my God, you guys, it's late. Give me a break. The constellation is literally a man holding a serpent. And some sources said that it was supposed to be Apollo fighting a snake that was protecting the Oracle of Delphi. That could be true. All I know is it's a man holding a snake. Okay. The strongest personality trait for Ophiuchus is a deep, deep sense of unity and justice. And people who have Ophiuchus in their charts will have they'll be teachers and healers and have a deep desire to rid the universe of all its ills. Okay. Illness, disease, hatred, division, all of that. Okay. So if you find yourself resonating with this, then this message could be for you. I did find that the lucky color is purple, if anybody cares. So anyway, I didn't do this on purpose, but I happened to pick this deck for the beginning of this reading. So if you resonate with Ophiuchus, here we go, you guys. Here we go. We're going to do this. So I'm asking for we're doing this for June 2021. And I am asking for kind of a past, present, future layout. But we'll do early June, mid-June, late June. So I'm asking for the first cards for each of these rows to begin our grid. And just the overall message for early June, mid-June, and late June, please. And of course, this is not tied to time or space. Whenever you are watching this is when it will be true. And you'll know where you are, or if you're not in it yet, okay, you'll know where you are in the story that we're going to tell here tonight. We're going to weave a tale, y'all. Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus? Sure, why not? So, you know, and if you don't resonate with Ophiuchus, I don't need any hate in the comments, just FYI. They will be promptly removed. So, past, present, future, early June, mid-June, late June. Let's get some guidance going. Let's get this grid going. I don't want those. A bunch of them just flipped over, but we don't want them. Right away, I heard, no, those are not the ones. All right, Ophiuchus. Let's get centered and get some guidance for Ophiuchus going here, please. Oh, and I'll show you what deck this is too. It is a lovely purple deck on the back. This is my favorite deck that I own. It's my very, very favorite, Sacred Traveler, because it's very clear and concise, and the artwork is just very colorful and lively, and it is cartoonish, but it's, you know, it's not like, it doesn't look real or anything, but I love it. Okay. Late May into early June. This is what I'm getting. Okay. Again, you know, go with where you're at. Overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. What I'm getting is you have been receiving, or in late May, early June, I'll say it this way. You're going to be receiving a kind of a boost in self-confidence. And it's going to be from, okay, see this little dude, this little beautiful robin, this young man chirping away. He's like chirping away. He looks like he's just chirping at that sword. Of course, this is the Sword in the Stone, right? King Arthur. That's what it makes me think of. But this always makes me think of a giant peach. And then I think of that crazy movie, James and the Giant Peach. And it's obstacles are a big thing, but it's also, once these obstacles are removed, movement. Like, remember in the movie, if you've ever seen the movie, he rolls around in this giant peach, and the peach actually moves really fast. And so that's the part I always think about, is when he's actually inside it and it's moving. And so once the obstacles are removed, so this isn't the obstacle necessarily. I mean, in the card, it's representing it, right? But the giant peach wasn't the obstacle. It was other, you know, metaphorically other things. And so you can overcome anything. So you're coming into a period, end of June, very possibly. And we are in the end of May currently. So if you're watching it pretty soon after I post this, you know, the universe is going to be removing a lot of big obstacles. I mean, this is a very huge, like, look at the path behind. You know, it's a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, there's a cliff right there, and there's no guardrail or anything, right? And then you come to this giant thing. What do? You don't really want to go back. You aren't going back, okay? Nobody is going back. But what this is, and I love that on the hilt is a heart, if you can see that. There's a little heart. It's a little heart gem on the hilt. So this is only you, obviously, just like the legend of King Arthur, only you can pull this sword out. Pulling the sword out will allow this obstacle to be removed, and then you will move really fast. And so it's healing. It's coming to me as a healing that will take place. You know, you're going to feel like you're hitting a wall. You're going to come to this point in your path, and you're going to feel like you're running into this brick wall. And what you need to do is you need to take a step back, okay, and tune in and ask your guides, okay, I ask for some clarity on what this is, what is blocking me. And chances are your guides are going to say, okay, thank God you stopped. Like we were trying to tell you, stop running into it over and over again. You need to stand back and look at it. Okay, because what I'm getting is, yeah, this is your guides, like stop running into the wall over and over again, stand back and look at it. Because what you're feeling is that it's something bad that you don't want to face. Something, it is something really big, but what I'm getting is because of the heart is just coming through so strongly. What I'm getting is that you know what is coming up to be healed for you. You know what it is because it's weighing on your mind. And what's coming through is you're very worried about really taking a look at it. And what I'm getting is you turned this little regular little peach that you could have just picked up and eaten along your path into this giant boulder that didn't need to be made that big. It really is something that's going to be so beneficial for you, that little heart, so beneficial for you and easier than you think. So you made this, sorry, that's my kid. You have made this molehill into a mountain. Okay. And so once you realize that once you pull that sword out and you realize that it's not that big of a deal, right? It's not that, it's just allergies. I promise he's not dying. Once you realize that you have made this bigger than it needs to be, that it really is nothing. It's really nothing. This boulder will be gone, and then you'll be able to see more of your path. Okay, so that's end of May, early June. We're going to expand on that. I just want to move through. Okay, mid-June, good chunk of June. Okay, like middle 2.5, even 3 weeks possibly. Okay, grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. Oh my goodness, are you coming into a beautiful? So you are a fire / possibly ether sign, very active, very masculine, right? Fire is a masculine element. And what I'm feeling like is this is very unlike you. This period that you're coming into in June, where you're going to be uncharacteristically calm, maybe even keeled. Like you have done a lot of healing. And I think that's one of the reasons too, where you're like, oh, not something else. Like, what is this? And because you've just worked through so much that sorry, I'm on a yoga ball. Woo! If I keep moving, we're in weird directions. Chairs are for wimps. Just kidding. Chairs are for losers. So, what was I saying? You have built this up in your mind because you've been through so many big things and you're just assuming that every block is going to be this huge thing. And this is going to be relief, I promise you, okay? And so you're going to find yourself, once you get moving, once that obstacle is gone and you get moving, you're going to find yourself in this really peaceful place. I mean, look at how lovely that is. Look at how lovely that is. Like one of those Japanese Zen gardens that, people go there for peace, for inner peace, but, to experience peace in the world, a peaceful place, peaceful energy. And you're going to be able to maintain this no matter what's going on outside of you. And one thing about Ophiuchus that I get to is, if you resonate with this sign as your sun sign, is that you are very good at controlling your environment. You're a master manifester. Okay. You're possibly better than all the other signs as far as manifesting good in your life. And you do it more intentionally than most of the other signs. You've got more. And I feel like this is one of the reasons, I strongly believe this is one of the reasons that Ophiuchus would be the one that they would remove. And, it's not because you're better than everybody else, right? Once we incorporate this, if that does happen, everybody will have, a little bit of Ophiuchus in their charts probably, or, a lot of people will. And so that'll come through. But, the energy never left, right? It just, they just tried to avoid exposing it, right? And having it out there so that we knew what was going on. But it's, I do feel like it's one of the signs that has shit figured out quicker than the others. Okay. Because you are of this energy of, you're really motivated to fulfill your mission because you have this deep sense of, I just want everybody to be united. I want there to be justice in the world. And so you just barrel forward and you have a lot of energy put into your mission. And I feel like a lot of you too come in, you already know from a very young age. And of course, all the new kids are going to be like that anyway. But you know from a very young age what you want to do with your life, what you came here to do, what your mission is. And so this is June, I feel like is going to be a time of you really kind of pulling back out of the collective, out of even your normal environments that might be chaotic, that might become chaotic in June, okay? You're going to be pulling back and observing and assessing and just kind of chilling. Like you're really going to be in a place of gratitude and seeing the joy, seeing the what's happening is no matter what's going to be happening in the world, which I think we all can agree that it probably will get a little worse before we break free of this, right? I'm not seeing a lot. I'm seeing the really, really bad timelines are gone. The AI controlled prison, right? Like those are gone. We don't have that anymore. But, we're not quite there yet. And it might, it might get a little more stifling before we break free and come out into the sunshine, right? But you already are seeing the positives. You're seeing the gratitude in this whole situation because you're seeing farther ahead than most of the other signs, okay? You are seeing the outcome and you know that you've already done your work to get humanity there. And so you get to sit back and watch. You get to sit back and relax as we kind of coast the rest of the way into this, okay? To this breakthrough as a collective, okay? So it's going to be very uncharacteristic for you, but I want you to really kind of revel in the quiet, revel in the stillness, revel in the, really cultivate the feminine, because Ophiuchus is a very masculine, go, 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 do, do, do sign. This is where you get to remember how to be, okay? And just do quiet things, like go for walks instead of going and doing Zumba. Like, I'm not knocking Zumba. If you love Zumba, keep doing Zumba. That's great. Fabulous. But if you're so inclined to even take a break from that kind of stuff, walking, I see more walking, not even power walking or anything, just walking, just being outside, walking around casually, not with like a timer on or I have to sweat or anything like that. Walking around outside, walking around in nature is going to be so much more beneficial for you than running 10 miles every day, okay? Or doing some intense workout, okay? Yoga is a beautiful, quiet, it connects you to your stillness, right? It connects us to just our inner core of peace and love and joy. And so you're going to be, and you're going to feel this, you're going to want to engage in more quiet activities, okay? Because your job, you've been out there, drilling the holes, making the tunnel through the mountain, and your part of it has been completed. And so you need to it's almost like we need you out of the way so that whoever is, finishing the job can get up there and do it. Okay. So, honor that it's not all you. You don't have to do this all by yourself. Honor that and take a break. Give yourself permission to pull back and take a break. So that's the big chunk of June. End of June into July, grounding, go deep, explore your roots. I mean, this is beautiful because I do feel like this is kind of it kind of goes along with this, right? But because I was even saying, go out in nature and stuff, but this is even more like, this is almost like, even though this may not seem like it, this is a transition phase for you to reemerge back out into the world and re-engage with your mission, okay? You're just taking a coffee break, okay? That's all you're doing. And so we're going from this, mid-June to late June, early July. It's still going to be very peaceful and still for you, okay? But it's going to shift a little bit. So grounding, go deep, explore your roots, where this is going to be a nice little vacay, nice little holiday you get to take, right? In your energy. I'm not saying you may not get to take a holiday, right? I apologize if you have to work or whatever through this, but just when you're not doing that, right? Try to find the stillness in your alone time, in your off time, in your downtime. Do whatever you can to be in stillness, because that is divine feminine. And you have been in the go, 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 do, do, do energy for so long. It's very masculine. Okay. It's time to pull that back now and allow the feminine to come through. And that needs to be nurtured first. That needs to be woken up. Okay. Men or women, it doesn't matter what beautiful package you chose. Okay. It's time for the feminine to be really nurtured and held and fed and loved and, and cultivated. All right. So that you can bring balance back, because you've been really in the masculine, and that was intentional. That was beautiful. Exactly what you needed to be. And now you're bringing the feminine back up. Okay. Because the energy is lending to it. Right. You know, people are waking up every day and seeing the truth of the world and realizing what they've been putting their energy into and shifting their own energy and raising their own frequency, right? And so it's lending to more of love and compassion to come through. But for you, because you've been kind of on, you know, I feel like you even were maybe a little bit frazzled before you hit this obstacle, right? Because I feel like on the other side of this obstacle, where you're relieved that it's not this big, huge thing, because you've been through so many big, huge things, where it's like, okay, it's just a little thing. That's when you're gonna like get to the other side of that giant peach and be like, oh, well, now I get to just take a little break. And you're going to want that. And so coming into the end of June, early July, it's almost like kind of more of the same, but again, it's going to shift more into more intentional, like re-engaging with your own personal healing journey. Okay. Like here, you don't necessarily have to worry about, okay, you're not going to be faced with a bunch of shadows and all that jazz. And you've done a good chunk of your shadow work, Ophiuchus, I promise you. I love how, look at this. So remember this young man here. And then we got this, and there's another one, another little birdie up there. You have a lot of birds, bird guides. I do feel like you want to get outside and listen to them sing as much as you can. You know, June in the Northern Hemisphere is normally very lovely. Okay, not too terribly hot yet, at least here in Colorado in the desert. The hot really comes in July and August. That's when we get our hottest. So get outside and really connect to Gaia. But more importantly, connect to your own. See, when I see roots, explore your roots. That's ancestral, right? I feel like there's going to be a lot of, you've done a lot of your own healing this life, even past lives. Now it's time to dig into the ancestral healing. Okay. And you're going to be so ready after this little break. You're going to be super motivated. Okay, what's next? Let's go. I want to go again. Once you bring that divine feminine up. And then, but then going inward, right? Remember that going inward is and healing in our own energy is also very feminine, because we're going into our own stillness and our own void. We're going into the void to really look at our own energy, and that's very feminine as well. So you're cultivating it, you're reawakening her, and then you're putting her to work. Okay, in a good way. And so then you will be able to come out of the gate like gangbusters, right? Again, with more of the masculine, go, do, and act with courage and confidence, because you have gone through these two stages. Okay. So it's going to be a lot of like contemplative, just peaceful, and you might have to create it, right? You might have to, like, I feel like it might not, for some of you, it might not be a completely and totally natural progression. You might have to work a little bit to create this space, okay? But I promise you it's going to be worth it. Like if you have, let's say you have a home office or a room that you're not doing much with, or even a corner, right? Turn it into your meditation space. Turn it into your, okay, I'm going to listen to sound frequency healing in that corner. I'm going to throw some pillows over there, or a body pillow or whatever to be comfortable, a bean bag, whatever. Make a corner where it's a dedicated space for you to go and be still. Okay. And then, like I said, go, they're both outside, right? So go outside as much as you can. If you have a space outside in your like yard or garden, that would be ideal. Excuse me. Okay. My body is like, keep going. I am going to clarify and expand on each of these with the same deck. We're going to stick with the Sacred Traveler deck for a little bit longer. Let me get some clarification and expansion on these cards, please, on all three of them. Let's get the early June, mid-June, and June. Let's get clarity on all of them. Give us some guidance. For all three, for Ophiuchus for June 2021, please, Spirit. Beautiful. I'm just going to do it. I'm feeling that Ophiuchus, like, woo, like barrel through, and it's gorge. It's gorgeous. Okay, so they all came out upside down. I don't really read reverse. I think the deck was just upside down, so it's all good. I mean, there's a reason, but the messages will come through anyway, right? So to clarify and to bring clarity to this big giant peach that really turns out to be easy to move, right? It's not as big as it looks. Valiant courage, take action with passion. So whatever this is, whatever this sword is representing for you, I feel like what keeps coming is, for a lot of you, it's going to be letting go of a loved one. Okay. Whenever I look at the heart, I just see someone you love, time to let go. Okay. Not everybody, whatever the sword represents. I think you know what your next step needs to be. Okay. And again, what I'm seeing is you've built it up in your mind to make it this big, huge, scary thing, depending on maybe it's another person and you're terrified of how they're going to react. I'm telling you, you're going to be pleasantly surprised, okay? That it's not going to be as big a deal as you think, okay? And it's going to clear a lot easier. And it's going to, and this loved one, this person that, maybe it's not love. If it's time to let them go, it's likely attachment more so than love, okay? Because love, unconditional love, true unconditional love is carrying through this whole ascension. That's where we're going, right? We're uncovering all of it. As we move through these energetic shifts and these breakthroughs and these doorways and these portals and all these ascension, all these upticks in frequency, we're shedding more and more, because all of this baggage cannot exist as we raise our frequency. It cannot be in the new frequency. And so it goes, but sometimes we turn around and go, no, don't go. I'm not ready for you to go. And so that's when we feel stuck, usually is when we're holding on to something or somebody, because we don't know who we'll be without them or it. Okay. So time to let go of something or someone you love. You're going to be not only fine without them or without it, you're both going to be better off. Okay. If it's a person, I'm getting a person very strongly for most of you. Okay. So valiant courage, have courage and trust that this is in the highest good of both of you. Or if it's like a job or whatever, it's in your highest good, I promise. And to worry about like if you want to quit and you're terrified that maybe your boss is the kind of person that might talk you out of it, and you're terrified that will happen because you're not really feeling in your power. Wait until, first of all, trust that that's not going to happen. Trust that there is something going on with the boss as well that is telling this person that you need to move on. And not that they're looking at you and going, oh, he is just not working out, right? They're not really thinking that, but it's going to be like when you come to them and say, I need to quit, they're going to go, yeah, like I've been feeling it. Okay. What I would say is give people more credit for being aware of what's going on with you. Okay. And just being aware of the energy in general. And so, but courage, right? And to me, that always transfers to trust. Courage does not mean acting without fear. Courage means acting despite fear, right? You have the fear, but you do it anyway. So you may be a little nervous. What I'm telling you is trust that it's going to be okay. Barrel on through, do the thing that you need to do, take action with passion. Know that you are, just go in, just in your heart, from your heart space, whatever you need to do, confronting someone, whatever, do it all through your heart space, filter it all, be in your heart space when you're doing it. And know that this is getting you closer and closer to your purpose. And knowing that you get to live with more passion and move toward your life's passion after that, on the other side of this, okay, is going to get you through. All right. Because this is you. We can't like necessarily create courage or, I'll go run to the store and pick up some courage because I got to do this thing. I got to tell this person that we're done. I got to kick this person out. I have to quit my job. I have to fire somebody. It does whatever it is. Okay. Whatever is coming through. You are going to, this does not necessarily mean badass with no fear is all I'm trying to say, is trust that everything's going to be okay. And you will have the courage to get through this, okay, to move through this and to do what you need to do. Okay, so clarifying this grace and gratitude, which is this beautiful kind of peaceful period for you. Answering the call, the time is now. Normally, I love this because normally this card speaks to me of someone coming out of hermiting and going out into the world. In this case, because she is literally going out into nature, I am definitely getting, and piggybacking on this too, right? I am definitely getting the message that this is you leaving the 3D world, leaving the chaotic world, and going out into a much more peaceful place. I mean, you can look out there and see, I mean, it's nature, right? And it's beautiful, and it's got that stoned pathway, and, you know, and here's the thing is, you know, we kind of build, again, we build these things up in our minds, right? Oh, that's going to be scary. And you may be having some doubts, right? I want you to look at like this. Look at that without the rest of it. Doesn't that look kind of scary? And I feel like that is what has kept you from doing this, you know, up until now. You have put it off and put it off and put it off. The rest period, the recuperation period, the pulling back, the checking out, the taking care of you, the really just relaxing and chilling and doing whatever the hell you want to do, and eat whatever the hell you want to eat. Intuitively eat always, but if your body is telling you you need an entire pizza, then eat an entire pizza. And, you know, you'll pay for it and you'll learn, or you'll feel great and it'll all be good, right? But it's, you cannot wait any longer to take this step of self-care. Okay. You have to pull back right now. You have to leave all this, you know, this beautiful reality you've helped create so far. Right. And you have to go out and take a little sabbatical. Okay. The time is now. Okay. So of course this is popping up in mid-June. So anytime once June hits, honestly, yeah, anytime after the 1st of June, I see that coming through. So, you know, you're going to find yourself in this beautiful place, but you might resist it. You might be like, no, I'm not, I need to go. I need to supervise. I need to check in on people. I feel like this is in order to keep you from micromanaging everything that's going on too much. Okay. You need to take a break, not just for you, but for everyone else who gets to step up now and do what they came here to do, at least partially, right? It's not like a soul mission completion, but well, for some it might be, right? But it's like, it makes me think about Lance Armstrong. Go with me here. He won how many Tour de France? How many? And then of course we find out he was cheating, but let's put that aside. He was using stuff. We won't talk about that. When I hear about things like that, I always think, yeah, that's great. But why wouldn't they, after 2 or 3, 4, all right, 4, give somebody else a chance? Like, we get it. You're superhuman. Give somebody else a chance. That's what's coming through, is take a break, give somebody else a chance to shine. Okay. Because you are so bright. You are so bright that if you keep going out there, it might, and you know, it's not your problem. I get it. It's absolutely not your problem, but this is for you too. This is absolutely for, you've put it off long enough. You cannot put it off any longer. You've got to recuperate. You've got to reset. And again, remember, you're cultivating that feminine. You've been in the masculine a long time. It's time to give that feminine a go. And the feminine is calm and stillness. Okay. Grounding, go deep, explore your roots. Remember, we talked about ancestral. Look at this. Fellow travelers, support is all around you. You are going to find, I feel like this time of contemplation, of disconnecting for a little while, and remember, you're going to be doing some ancestral healing, is going to bring, maybe even surprisingly, some soul family into your life. Brand new people. And you're going to be making new connections and realize that there are other people who have not necessarily other, who resonate with Ophiuchus, not necessarily, but you're going to find other people who resonate with your mission. Okay. So whatever you feel, and again, your mission, if you don't know, if you could do anything, if money was no object, if resources were no object, if all of the, well, I don't have this, and if that were to happen, but if all of that were to fall away tomorrow, what would you do? That's your mission. Okay. That's your true passion. And that's what you came here to do. Right. Like focused and built upon. Right. But, yeah. And so you've got a lot of support coming in, and remember, look at this, another bird, and that's a big one. Like, this is just reminding you. So these are your guides, like yelling at you, stop running into the wall. Right. These are your guides saying, finally, she's taking a break. You know, this little guy up here, remember him? He's like, oh, thank goodness. But I'm just going to watch over her because she's very bad at sitting still. Right? Like, I believe that. And then there are birds in the background too of this dude. Like, the birds are really prevalent, you guys. You've got lots of strong bird guides. And then I just want to see if there was a bird in here. There isn't, surprisingly. Figured there would be. But look at this. It's a mated pair. It's a peacock and a peahen. Aren't they beautiful? Or is that like an albino peacock? Because the peahens are actually kind of brown, aren't they? Or are they white? I don't know. Anyway, this is coming through to me as a mated pair. And these are very strong guides too. But it's also, if you think about mated pair, let's go down that path. Soulmates, soul family, right? Soul family coming in as part of either with a chunk of code or info for you for your mission, to aid you in your mission, or you'll be trading, right? You'll have something for them. It's always an exchange, you guys. Whenever somebody comes in, especially the people that are really fleeting, right? Like, oh, this person on the subway, I never even knew their name, but they said this and it really stuck with me. I promise you it was an exchange and you gave them something too, okay? But yeah, and look at the rainbow. It's actually a very sparkly looking rainbow. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like, yeah, it's like really, really sparkly. And then there's this is really crazy, you guys. Is that a peach tree? Like, WTF? You might want to look up peaches and see if there is some kind of spiritual meaning, because that's weird. That's weird. That definitely looks like a peach tree. If that is a thing. Peaches grow on trees, right? So anyway, yeah, you're going to be, and again, what I want to remind you too is even when you're pulling back, you're taking a break, you're checking out, you're connecting, you're grounding, you're going to be doing a lot of self-healing coming the end of June into July. Just remember that you're always moving forward on your path. Stepping back and observing, and that does not mean that we stop moving forward. In fact, that is helping you move forward. Okay. I like to tell people it's, think of your soul's journey. Think of the universe as an airport, and we are on a people mover. Now, remember, on a people mover, you can walk and get there even faster, right? You got to pull your baggage, right? That's an interesting analogy, but you got to pull all your baggage and carry all your baggage with you, and you don't get to take a break. Or you can take a break, set all your bags down on the right side, right, of the people mover, and you can stand still or sit. You could curl up in the fetal position. It just doesn't matter. The people mover will still be moving. You will still get there, okay? Sometimes we have to curl up in the fetal position and take a little break in order to kind of recalibrate everything, right? And that's what I feel like you're doing, okay? Beautiful, beautiful Ophiuchus. I mean, the path is only getting better, and the rainbow is out there somewhere, right? That's destination, right? That's the destination for this life. That's your purpose and your mission fulfilled. And it's not that far away, you guys. But now notice, you can't see the whole path. And I always tell people, why would you want to see imagine if you could right now be shown your entire path and you know every step that you're going to take from that. How boring is that? Don't you want any surprises at all? Like, that is so boring. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I like one step at a time is great. I'll take 3 or 4. Sure, if you got them, I'll take 10, but I don't want to see the whole thing, because that would ruin so much anticipation. Like, I don't ever want to stop geeking out about synchronicities, about just signs, about really, really clear signs from the universe that I'm on the right path, or that I need to meet this person. Like, all these synchronicities, I still really like when they're really big, I still like just go crazy, and it just makes me so happy. And if we saw our whole path, we wouldn't get to feel that when the synchronicities come through. Okay. So stop asking to see more of your path. All you need is the next step. Okay. And going back to trusting, right? Where's the trust? That was this guy. Yeah. Going back to trusting, now to early June, that we cannot ever leave our paths. We can't go backwards. We can't veer off. We can't, you can't be on the wrong path. It's just not possible. We're always on our path. We're always on the people mover, but sometimes we're curled up in the fetal position. And sometimes we choose to stay in that position too long, right? And I don't even like to say too long because it's all perfect, you guys. At the end of the day, you chose every step that you made in that day. You made a decision and you went with it. And you still moved forward toward your path, I promise. We're always on the path, toward your mission, toward fulfilling everything you came here to do, okay? So I want to get some messages from the guides from this beautiful deck for Ophiuchus for June 2021. Let's just get a message from your guides, Ophiuchus, for each row. So early June, please. End of May, early June. And I have one sign left, you guys, Sagittarius. I'm going to be doing it tomorrow, I promise. I gave myself permission to take a break yesterday because I know one a day doesn't seem like a lot, but currently a single parent with my children's father travels a great deal for work. And I have 4 and we homeschool and it's just a busy life. And so I do what I can. And I don't apologize for it. They will all be done by June 1st. So that's the important thing. And it's all perfect timing. So whatever, Sagittarius, I am a Sagittarius moon. With this 13, I would also be a Sagittarius sun. So I definitely have a lot of energy invested in Sagittarius. So I will get it done tomorrow. And then I've got all 13 done. So, all right, let's get a message from the guides for Ophiuchus on this early June row, please. Yeah, I just want to do one at a time, I think. Yeah. And they're telling me to look at the bottom. The Fairy Norn, planning, patience, cooperation. Look at this. And this is the message from the guides for this row, where you're going to come upon this giant obstacle and you're going to freak out for a minute. And then you're going to realize, oh, this is something that I cannot move forward until I cut this person loose, or until I have this hard conversation with this person I love, or leave a job. Maybe you have to leave a job you love. I don't know what's going on with you. It's up to you. But it's going to be this thing that you built up in your mind that is nothing, right? That is going to be a lot easier than you think and make you feel free. Free your path, free up your path so you can see more of it. And then, doing it with courage does not mean no fear, but then leading into this beautiful space, right? Like clearing this obstacle is going to allow you to get into this beautiful space where you get to be still and more introspective and more divine feminine, okay? What could be more divine feminine than this lovely pixie and her unicorn that she's embroidering? Sorry, I'm old, so I got to lift it up. 31, if that means anything to anybody. I always like to say the numbers. I love that star-filled night. She's just sitting out there and embroidering. Like, why not? Do what you do, pixie. The Fairy Norn, planning, patience, cooperation. So planning and patience. I mean, you are really coming into... Okay, so it's a message from your guides. So what they're saying is, once you clear away this obstacle, okay, I think what they're saying is you may need to actually pre-plan a few things to be able to step away for a while, okay? So again, if it's not a job that you're quitting and say you still have to work, maybe look and see if you can take vacation time. I highly recommend that in June because your guides are really wanting you to be more still, to be more, I mean, pretty much from the second week of June, if not a little before, through into the beginning of July, you are going to be in stillness mode, okay? In self-healing mode, in chillaxing mode, okay? And so planning and patience and cooperation. So resistance, right? It's, and I know that you have all this motivation and this fire under your butt. You are going to get your chance, right? But it's time for you to step back and you need to look at, I don't like to say even you need, sorry, hold on. The cat had to come in and open the door. All right, cat. So Isis is here. She had to join us. Cooperation to me is talking about your guides are going to be screaming in your ear, on what you need to do. And listen, don't shut them out. Don't resist because you feel like you have these have-tos, right? You deserve this break and you need it. Okay, you need to cultivate your divine feminine. You need to cultivate your creative energy right now in this middle end of June, okay? You need to really be cultivating the feminine. I mean, that's coming in really super strong. Would you stop opening the door? In or out, cat, in or out. And so, I mean, this is just such a feminine, your favorite color is coming through, your lucky color, the purple. But this is such a feminine card. Like it's really saying, and look at what she's doing. I mean, embroidery is such it's a, you know, in the physical, in the 3D, right? It's a very sedentary hobby, but sedentary can be very therapeutic and very meditative. Okay. I'm not saying you have to take up embroidery, but you need to be engaging in activities that are like that bring the same type of energy and the same type of calm and stillness. Okay, I'm just going to keep saying stillness because it makes sense. Let me get a message from the guides for the middle of June, please, for Ophiuchus. Because I do love how, you know, all the 6 cards so far have this amazing purple border, and then this came out just purple. Even this little strip around it is purple. I mean, definitely purple. And I had just looked up that the the lucky color for Ophiuchus is purple. So I just think that's interesting. Again, I love geeking out about synchronicities. You guys, it's so fun when things like that happen, when I love it when a plan comes together, right? So let's get a message from the guides for the middle of June, please. On this gratitude, on this beautiful place of stillness. I don't want that one. Cards are trying to jump for you, Ophiuchus, but I'm being told don't take the jumpers. Answering the call, the time is now. The time is now in mid-June. You'll know the time is now to disconnect, to go on holiday if you can. If you can actually go somewhere and get away alone, do it. If you have the resources for that, oh my God, take advantage of that. Not everybody can do that, but we're all going to do it in our own way, whatever we can do. So let me get a message from the guides for that row, please. Ooh, 41. Look at this. Look at how beautiful she is. So very pale skinned. What that always says to me is renewal. Like kind of like, so, and if you think about it, this is very much a, it'll be a bit of a cocooning, right? You're going to be cocooning yourself. And so this is, you know, I want to get a gauge because it's, oh, and are they all purple? Oh my God. No, they're not, you guys. They're all different colors around the edges. And both of these have a purple strip around them. This is so crazy. And she's got purple on her dress. I love, this is my favorite dress. I would love for the artist to like draw the whole thing. That would make me happy. So let me see what I'm getting, because this is coming on the heels of basically the time is now to leave. You know, what I'm hearing is the time is now to leave civilized society. If you are inclined to go out into the woods and, you know, and roughing it is your thing, do that in the middle of June, okay, when you feel called to do that. The paleness of her skin is just striking me, and I'm trying to get the message for that, because this is gift, divine inspiration, awakening. I mean, it's very much a renewal. I do feel like going out into nature and getting away is going to be a renewal of spirit for you, big time. It's almost like you're a newborn. Like, I know newborns aren't necessarily born with white skin, but whenever I pull this card, I feel like the message comes through of brand new, a newborn, you know, not having experienced the world yet. And so no color, right? If that makes sense. And so just really, really untouched, right? Pristine, okay? Porcelain, right? And just not scarred or tainted, or, you know, not having, it's almost like this body is brand new and has not been lived in yet. Okay. So it's this amazing renewal and reset that you need, because I love this too, because I remember I said I saw a shift then between the middle of June to the end of June, even though it feels kind of the same. Oh, well, it's going to be more stillness, more. No, it was a shift, because you are just taking a break and pulling back and disconnecting from the world, from the chaos of your normal life, of your previous life, because it's never going to be the same, I promise you, is going to reset your energy field. And you're going to feel renewed, and you're going to feel new. And you're going to see the world maybe from even new eyes, like see the world, see beauty in the world you never thought, you never noticed before. And then you're really going to be able to go out and appreciate nature and literally do this. Like I'm actually, your guides are actually saying, tell them to actually do this because that's beautiful. Sit under a tree. I always think she's like pregnant, but that's actually, she's holding her hat in her lap. I'm like, why is she pregnant? Oh, she's not. If you look close, she's just holding a hat in her lap. This actually looks like there's a trail that I walk, and this actually looks almost exactly like parts of the trail along the river that is my favorite place to walk and connect. And so, yeah, so you're going to be getting a huge shift, okay? And because you made the very important decision to step back. So like I said, your guides are saying it may require a little planning, okay? You have to cooperate. Don't resist it. Allow whatever comes through. You may think, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. And then maybe that falls through in something else, but it's not what you were thinking, but it's still going to give you this stillness. Take it. Maybe it's not anything you've ever done before or gone before, but it's still going to give you that opportunity. Take it. I hope that makes any sense at all, because that's what's coming through. Yeah, it's just going to give you, like, she's just brand new out the package is what I'm seeing, right? She's all shiny and sparkly and just completely untouched. It's like brand new snow that hasn't been stomped in yet, right? That's what your energy is going to get a whole reset. All right, let's get a message from the guides for the end of June into July, please. This beautiful time of meeting new soul family and healing ancestral trauma. I get trauma more than baggage. I mean, that's the same thing, right? You're carrying it. You're carrying it, and it's time to let go. So it does say go deep. Go deep, my friends. Go deep. If you need assistance, chances are you know somebody who can help you, okay? But go really deep and really dig through the darkest corners of your basement energetically, and just empty those boxes, okay? And recycle the boxes. Just clean it out completely. Ancestral shit is not yours. You don't need to be carrying it anymore. And you're probably going to find, what I'm seeing is they're showing you, you're going to be finding a lot of crap down there that you've already healed. Okay. It's just little remnants. Like I call them dust bunnies. It's like little things that just try to hold on, little, particles that are kind of sticky and like, oh, I know we healed this, but I'm just going to hang around in the energy and clamp onto this. And you're going to be able to clean all that out much easier because you've come into this, beautiful place of grace and gratitude and stillness, and really examined and allowed yourself to see. First of all, be very proud of yourself of what you've been doing. Oh my gosh, you've been doing a lot for yourself and for the collective. Time for you to take a break. We want you to take a break. We all want you to take your well-earned vacation, okay? And then come back with brand new renewed energy, new motivation, new ideas, right? I feel like if you keep trying to barrel through, you're not going to allow that new information to come through, and you're going to try and maybe keep doing kind of the same when you need to do something different, okay? So let's get a message from the guides for this end of June, early July, so we can get some clarity, so I can start making some sense. I hope this makes sense. Ooh, okay, interesting. I want to see, I'm just going to see what that's at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So let's see what we got here. So remember this row, end of June, early July, right? You're going to be doing a lot of ancestral healing and still really connecting with Gaia and the stillness within, right? Still cultivating that feminine energy, okay? It's not time to go again yet, okay? And you're going to be connecting with soul family. You're going to be coming together with people who have similar missions or have a chunk for you to, like, let's say, oh, well, you have this mission and you're going to do this part of it, but there are going to be other people who are going to do other parts of it. These are the people who are going to be coming in. And you have to have been in this stillness to raise your frequency, to pop out of the cocoon in this brand new porcelain skin and in a new vibration and attract them. Okay. You're going to be pulled to each other. Okay. Once you raise your frequency. And so this card comes through. It's 19, if that means anything. The trickster, deceit, betrayal, guile. I don't care for the words. And I mean, if I'd be honest with you, if that was coming through as a message for you, what I want to focus more on is the picture. Okay. The picture of, now, normally I would see this as disguise, right? Well, let me tune in. Maybe there is something about that. I'm just not getting, like, it surprises me because everything's been so positive. And if I look at the words, it might take a turn. And I don't know that that's even for you, Ophiuchus. Let's see. Because you're going to be meeting soul family. I mean, maybe a little bit of, fake soul family, but I'm not feeling that at all. So I'm just going to let that go. And I'm going to look at the picture. So versus people being in disguise, it's going to be more like, okay, just give me a sec. Bear with. Her green eyes are really intriguing. And I mean, she looks like, it's the stillness just comes through again, which is interesting. She looks like she's trying not to move so that big, huge flower headdress doesn't fall off. But I find this interesting too. It's almost like the North Star or Jupiter or something, like a big star there. Yet the sky is not dark. Like it's not the sun. The sun's not shining, but it seems like it's nighttime, even though it's a very light. I'm definitely getting clarity. I'm definitely getting you'll be able to see things more clearly. Again, it's just piggybacking on this, right? It's coming in right after this card. And so this is the soul family coming in, the people with the missing pieces of the puzzle for your mission, for your larger mission, right? The people coming in with information and skills that you need, and you'll need each other for a joint mission, or you'll need each other for codes and then you'll part ways. It's whatever your contract is. And so, but all of that is going to bring so much more. I'm just going to cover up the words. It's going to bring so much more clarity that you're going to be able to see, right? Like seeing stars in the night sky, but it's going to be a brighter sky and you're still going to be able to see the stars. The clarity will come through. And I'm trying to get a gauge. Like this is, what it's coming through as more is abundance, really, is just so much. Like you're going to really be able to plant so many seeds for each other, for other people. And her face, this time around, usually, I have read this card as deceit, betrayal, and guile before. But her face, in this, with this energy coming through with this for you, is her face is more, I was going to say confident, but it's more, yeah, like it's going to help you bring through any self-doubt that you have left kind of hanging around in your energy, that you came here to do really magical and big things. It's going to help you heal a lot of that. And see how her skin is even green. And so maybe there's even some of, yeah, there are other people in your life. Okay, so I'm just going to go with this because it is trying to come through a little bit. There are people in your life who are jealous of your energy, right? They're jealous of your light. They're jealous of your magic. You just, no matter what you're doing, you could be a homeless person and you would still just radiate love and light and make everybody happy. And for whatever reason, certain people, I just saw brother. For some of you, it might be a brother. It doesn't matter. It might be a friend like a brother. And maybe you don't realize how jealous and envious they are of you, but they are. And so what this is going to allow you to do, though, seriously, I'm seeing the middle of June is going to be so important for you to really connect with your own energy, because the clarity is going to be very, very strong. And you're going to see people in a whole new light. You're going to see people with more clarity, and you're going to see who is going to keep going on to the next step with you. Okay. We know how this works, right? People come in and they go, and it doesn't even matter how much we care about them or how much we love them or how much we want them to stay. When it's time for them to go, they have to go. And so holding on to them does not help either one of you. Okay. So I do feel like it's going to be a revealing of someone who is just dragging you down, and you're not seeing it yet, but you will by the end of June into early July. You're going to see, okay, well, this person, but I love him. I love her. I love them. What Game of Thrones rules, right? Don't fall in love with anybody. because they killed everybody you fall in love with. But really, it's not, I don't like to say don't fall in love with anybody. Don't form attachments with anybody. Because when we truly unconditionally love someone and there are no attachments and it's time for them to leave our lives, we allow that with, with complete and total surrender. Do you know anybody who's ever been? No, I don't know anybody who's ever been able to do that, but that's where we're headed, right? That kind of energy. If you truly unconditionally love someone, you will want them to go where they need to go whenever they need to go there, right? If they need to leave and you know that you're done, then you would embrace that. You would say goodbye and you would grieve, but you would be grateful for the time that you had, right? And we're getting there, I promise. But what it is you're going to see that this other person too is got a lot of magic to bring to the world. Like I'm seeing, this is what I keep seeing is like, this is a lot of good stuff. And this is this other person who's jealous of you not seeing what they have because they see you and everything you're doing. And they're like, oh, I wish I had that. When they have not more, but just something different. And so the clarity is going to come through thanks to this time of stillness, thanks to this ancestral healing, right, that you're going to do, thanks to meeting more soul family, that you're going to realize it's going to be a brand new experience because you're going to be in this new frequency, right, of feeling soul family. It's going to feel stronger and more profound than ever before. And then you're going to realize that that's just not the connection you have with this person. Okay. And you're going to realize that it's more attachment than it is love. And so I'm definitely thinking, I'm not seeing for the most part, it's not romantic. It is a sibling. It's a friend. It's a parent. It could even be a child, an adult child of yours. Okay. If that's the case for very few of you, I'm not seeing that for a large number of you, but the thing is they're so wrapped up in their own lack of self-worth. Is all they see is your magic and they can't see, like, look, she can't see what's on top of her head because it's on top of her head. Like you can't try, right? You can't see it. All she's got to do is look in the mirror and see all the beautiful gifts and magic that she is bringing to the world. Okay. And it could be a he, could be a they. I'm not assigning gender. Okay. And so it's that all of this is leading up to, because this is going to be huge. This realization and this parting of ways is going to be huge for both of you. So if you are trying to hold on, if you come to this and you're like, well, no, I don't want to let them go. I feel like there's going to be like, oh, sure, you could do, there are going to be things that you could do where you're like, well, I can make these accommodations and then they'll stay. Don't. Okay. Really stand in your power now. Really stand in your sovereignty now and really look at the situation. As much as you care about them, you are both going to be better off parting ways. And yes, you're going to grieve and they will grieve, but you're both going to be better off parting ways. It's the only way this beautiful person is going to be able to heal their jealousy, which is coming from a lack of self-worth, right? Which is coming from fear of not being enough, of not being good enough. Okay. Of not really being who we truly believe in our core that we are. It all comes down to fear. And so it's keeping them. So being attached to you is keeping them from stepping into their own path. You're doing them a favor by letting them go. So you have what you have. Your story for June, Ophiuchus, is letting go of someone or something you love at the beginning and then letting go of someone or something you love at the end. This is probably going to be a someone. This might be a something. It might even be a house you love, okay? Anything you love, it's time to let go. But you're letting go of big things at the beginning of June and the end of June. June is going to be transformative for you. Okay, I want to end, because I know I've been babbling a long time. We're going to end with just one card from the Fairy Godmother deck. So we're going to get one little message from your Fairy Godmother, Ophiuchus. Let's see what your Fairy Godmother has to say. These are lovely cards too with the gold. And look at their gold around. I love that. And so let's get one final message, a nice wrap-up message from the Fairy Godmother for Ophiuchus, please, for June 2021. I think it's beautiful. I think it comes full circle where you're removing an obstacle and removing an obstacle. But it's like, it's building upon this. So this, because you're going to realize that it was nowhere near as tough letting go of this than you thought it would be, then you're going to be able to approach this with more clarity, more confidence, because you're going to learn not to make mountains out of molehills from this experience, right? And so you're going to come into this almost thinking, okay, this is not going to be a big deal. And it might hit you a little harder. But to be honest, I feel like you're going to come into this situation with just a very clear head, very logical. And that's a trait of yours, right? And you're just going to be able to move through it. And you're going to know that you're doing both of you a service, okay? Both of you a service. Okay, so, oops. I just saw victimhood on the bottom of the deck. Let's talk about that. Yeah, this other person needs to heal a lot of victim energy. And as long as they're attached to you, they will feel like a victim because they feel victimized by your light, because they cannot see their own self-worth. And so once you've released them, do some cord cutting. Do some serious cord cutting. It will cut them for them as well, but they're going to still have to do their own healing. And a lot of times you cutting cords with someone else facilitates them cracking open and being able to heal to get them moving on their path, okay? Because I do feel like they're pretty stagnant because they're attached to you. Not your fault. Not your fault at all, okay? It's all perfect, right? They have been attached to you for exactly as long as they have needed to be. But now by the end of June, early July, it's time to cut those cords, okay? One final message from the fairy godmother for Ophiuchus. Pretty please, magic. Seriously. Beautiful. Overall, it's incredibly magical. You are going to discover, I think you're even going to discover like new ways to spend your time that are more therapeutic and meditative and still. And I don't like the word sedentary, kind of feels negative to me, but just being able to be with yourself and doing little activities, and you're going to find new skills and new gifts. I mean, it could be something like, oh, well, maybe you find out that you're actually really good at painting because you take a painting class when you pull away and are trying to really get to know yourself again and cultivate that divine feminine. And it could just be even online, and you start painting, you're like, oh, I almost forgot that I'm really good at this. And so it could be reminding you too of all these things that maybe you have discounted until now that now can be brought through. It's going to really cultivate new ways for you to fulfill your mission. Like I said, if you keep barreling on through, you're not going to have that clarity. You're not going to have the new information. You're not going to have the next level of your gifts to bring to the world. Okay. That's why you need to hibernate for a little bit and really cultivate your magic. I mean, that is just a great way to end. What more did you ask for, Ophiuchus? Nope, I don't even really want that one. I always look at the bottom of the deck and see if it hits me, but it's not. So yeah, I hope this made sense. Over an hour, I just can't seem to babble. So for anybody who resonates with Ophiuchus, I hope this really helped. I hope you got some nuggets of wisdom out of this reading. I feel like it's a beautiful story unfolding from now until early July. Again, not tied to time and space. If you happen to click on this whenever, you'll know if you're in this story or if you've already been through it or if you're coming into it, okay? It'll resonate on some level and you'll know where you're at. So I hope you enjoyed it. And please, please go ahead and still watch your moon and rising and Venus. I always recommend Venus as well. Even if this, even if, we don't know how incorporating 13 obviously is going to change everything. But I think until then, you can still feel safe watching this as your sun, possibly if you fall into those dates, and then watching your moon rising in Venus and creating a whole picture. Okay. Just because that's the intention I've set. And so it's all, time is an illusion, right? The calendar is just our way of holding on to our linear reality, right? Which we need to do for a little while longer. So don't overthink it, right? Just watch whichever ones you're pulled to watch. So please like, share, subscribe, share these videos, this one, especially if you know somebody else who might resonate with Ophiuchus, or any of my other videos. If you feel like someone in your life needs some guidance for June, they've all been beautiful, beautiful stories of transformation. I promise you, nobody, I don't do gloom and doom readings. I do trust and growth and movement readings. And so, yeah, just share my channel and, get these messages out there, because I do feel like June is going to be really challenging for a lot of people, and to know what's coming can help you navigate. Okay. It can really help you navigate through, and just trusting that we're going to come out of it the other side. And July, I'm already seeing, is going to be so different from June. Sorry, I got an itchy foot. I had a little gnat flying around here, and I think he bit me, which is an interesting synchronicity. Time to go. I think that's what it's telling me. Thank you, Ophiuchus, for listening, and I will see you next month. Bye.